I think something is you really can't know until you actually experience it. Like, I think when I was like 18, 19, I used to just think experience can make up for time. Like old people who are like 40 who maybe lived in their basement all their life would not be as wise as me because I've lived more in my years of life, right? I thought the more experiences I have, the more wise I can be because experience is wisdom, right? Well, I think while partially true, wisdom is something built on time. There's just too much to know. You need time to discover these things on your own when you actually experience them. Some shit you really don't understand until you know it. I honestly like were a little hexed by my own parents for the longest time because our relationship was not that great growing up, and I think something like clicked when I went home for winter break, for spring break, that they were getting old and they were like people just like me, and this was their first time living. Obviously you see these quotes like all the time, like, oh, it's your first parents first time living too, like go easy on them, or oh, like they're a person too, there's someone outside of being your parent, but it never like really like registered. And then everything they did, like all the parenting mistakes they committed when I was growing up, honestly, I didn't even give a fuck. Like, I did their laundry, I did their like sheets, I cleaned the house, everything, because in my mind, it was very clear two things. You're getting old and you're paying my parents. Because at the end of the day, blood is thicker than water. All the people reposting the quotes that blood is not thicker than water, that you can cut off your parents, like, I don't think that applies for, that does apply, I would say, for like serious trauma. But if your parents hit you a little when you were growing up, like if they like emotionally abuse you, whatever that means these days, like I really think just forgive them and get over it because life is too short to not have your parents in your life. I would say blood is thicker than water. And also being in college, I never was able to really like get into the grind, like get into the rhythm of things until I ended up at like a pretty good ranked school where I actually had to grind, I had to put the work in. And I was putting maybe like 5-6 hours a day of studying on top of my classes at minimum. And even though this is sustained effort, and I think it did take a lot of discipline that I didn't have before, it did feel stagnant after a little bit of time. And this is the second lesson I learned, that once something feels a little easy or a little repetitive, you're becoming stagnant. I know progress is supposed to feel not like progress. It's supposed to feel mundane, like you're doing the same thing every day. But I think at a certain point, if you are doing the same routine every day, and even though you are seeing results, a part of you is dying. Now, I've yet to pinpoint exactly which part of you, but I would say the creative part, or the part where your brain actually works. I mean, it's built into the nature of a routine itself. The fault of every routine is that it doesn't take much effort to think about it. That's why it's able to be routine. You feel me? So when you get in the groove doing the same thing every day and every day, over and over and over, whether that be studying, working out, cooking, I don't know, I feel like you lose some of the novelty of trying new things in your life, like breaking up the routine every now and then. I feel like it tunnel visions you into a goal that you may not want for yourself, because routine allows you to negate reflection. Routine allows you to just stick to this thing because, oh, I want to achieve this goal. But I feel like something we're getting wrong about ourselves is that this goal isn't always staying the same. It changes over time. But that constant reflection, reevaluation, that's tiring over time. So I would just warn that if you are like very grindy about something, make sure you still want to achieve that goal. Like reevaluate, reflect every now and then. And again, I think this is one of the things where I wouldn't have known if I haven't tried it, if I hadn't lived through it. And to have lived through it, I would need the time. I would have to be this age at this point in my life to be able to experience this transitory period. And as a younger person, you don't have that opportunity simply because you just haven't reached that point in your life. I think all these stages in your life really do play a huge part in who you are and your brain development. I think I've become stagnant. So